I debated whether or not I wanted to bring this up and film about it, but I like to be as real with you guys as I possibly can and show you and tell you really what's truly going on in my life. Plus, I feel like I just need to get this off my chest with you guys. So, I'm just gonna warn you right now, if you're looking for a typical, like, oh my god, so sarcastically funny, Tay, story time, this is not the video. There's plenty of other story times, there's plenty of other videos you can watch that are just like that, but this is just not the video. So if that's what you're looking for, click off. See you later, like, see you next week. I don't know what to tell you. What is up, YouTube? So this topic is very sensitive to me. I even put on lashes to kind of try to subconsciously tell myself not to break down in front of the camera because I don't want to, but we'll see what happens. Basically, if you haven't seen my depression video, you're going to be very confused. If you are curious, go watch it. I'll leave a link down below. If you haven't seen it, you're not even going to understand this video. There's no point to continue watching this unless you've seen that video. So if you want, you can check it out. If not, just click off this video altogether. Someone else can fill you in another time. Anyways, this video centers around Luke and that whole situation. And it happened just yesterday. So I'm going to try to keep the editing to a minimum for this video just because I want it to be as raw and real as it possibly can to really get my point across. So yesterday I went and I met with Luke for lunch. We were originally supposed to go to Chipotle and we ended up at the mall. A bunch of his friends came. So it felt slightly more comforting because there were a lot of people there. But still, I was very uneasy about the whole situation. I was very uncomfortable. I almost didn't go just because I didn't know what I was going to say, how it was going to feel, like what was going to happen. But at the same time, I was genuinely curious on, number one, what he was going to say to me, if he was going to feel remorseful at all, and just how he would genuinely act around me just because I had not seen him since we had our huge blow-up fight my sophomore year where I told him basically to fuck off and I was not gonna speak to him ever again. So, I go, I meet them, everything's whatever, like, it's chill, it's a little awkward, but, he starts making jokes about, like, that whole situation, and I kind of went along with it because I didn't want to be rude because I'm just that type of person, and he just tells, like, his boys the entire situation because they obviously, like, I guess, hadn't heard about it. So he rehashes that, and that was painful to sit through, to be honest, just because the whole thing was played off so nonchalant. So we go inside, we eat, we get our food, whatever, sit down, and right off the bat, he's just kind of making innuendos towards wanting to hook up, and I was just not down for it. Number one, I was not in the mood. Number two, I just don't want to do that with someone who is like that. Like, someone so disgusting to me that they could do what he did to me. And I know it was my sophomore year, but still, like, that is something that will live with me for the rest of my life. So I was just not down with it, and I automatically developed, like, an attitude just to kind of try to repel him away because I just didn't want to deal with any of his shit that day. And he got, like, low-key a little bit salty, but I honestly just didn't care. I was like, you know what, fuck it, whatever, I don't care. So he walked away at one point, and then his friend and I were talking, and we'll call his friend, I don't know, we'll call his friend Tanner. I don't know, what the fuck, I don't care. And Tanner and I were talking, and he's like, he just asked me out of the blue, he's like, hey, so do you think that if Luke wasn't such an asshole towards you, would you, like, date him? Would you want to date him? Because we were on the topic of, like, dating and, like, just a deep topic about, like, girls that are cuffable versus girls that guys just want to hook up with. We were just getting deep into those type of talks. So I was like, no, I could never date someone like that, someone who did such fucked up shit to me and still doesn't fully grasp what they did. because you could just tell he does not understand what he did. He does not fully understand what he put me through. You know, he may fully understand the situation and kind of what I did was fucked up, like maybe I shouldn't have done that, but he doesn't understand the full repercussions that he caused me specifically. And I was talking to his friend about that, and he's like, oh, well, maybe you should tell him that. So Luke came back, and I said, you know what, Luke, I need to talk to you. And he was like, oh my god, is this gonna be bad? Like, oh, like, kind of joking around about it. And I looked at his friend Tanner, I was like, is it bad? And he goes, yeah, it's pretty bad. Luke was like, oh, like, is it about me? And I was like, obviously. So I turned my chair towards him because he was sitting next to me. I turned my chair towards him, and I look at him dead in the eye, and I just start to tell him my true feelings because I had never really expressed to him how much that hurt. So I told him, I was like, I don't think you understand fully how much you've put me through. I don't think you understand the repercussions that you've caused for my life, and I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to forgive you, number one, or move past that situation fully, because what you did changed my entire life. It changed how I feel about people. It changed the way I look at people. It changed who I trust, who I think I can trust. I don't even know if I can trust certain people, let alone certain guys. Like, I have been so messed up in relationships after that just because I don't know who I can trust, and I don't know who's gonna do something so fucked up to me like that again. And I just told him, I said, because he just kept saying, I'm sorry, like, I was such a dick, like, I shouldn't have done that, that was, like, fuckboy freshman me. And I was like, honestly, like, I really hope that you truly do mean that, because I don't think you truly do understand. You say, I'm sorry, but I don't think you really understand how much you've altered me as a person, how much I've changed because of this. And I don't think you understand that I'm a completely different person than what I could have turned out to be. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is what it is. And I said, do you know why I left? Do you know why I didn't come back? He goes, oh, why? I was like, because I left to go to North Carolina for rehab, because I needed mental help, because I became suicidal and tried to kill myself multiple times because of not only what you did, but because of the rumors and the hate and just the overall feeling that I got around people because of the way that they looked at me so differently. And he just kept like, oh, I'm so sorry. And he's like, honestly, I don't really know any other way to tell you I'm sorry other than owning up to what I did, and that's what I'm doing. And just the entire time, like, I was trying to hold back most of my feelings just because I didn't want to fully break down in the middle of the mall with strangers there or whatnot, but in a way, it was a very tense situation for me, yet it made me kind of have a little bit of relief because I finally had the chance to say that to him. I finally had the chance to say that to the person who caused that pain. And I ended up having to give him a ride home. That was interesting. But after that, I drove around, I went to Target, and I just completely lost it. Like, I pulled into the Target parking lot, and I remember I just looked up, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I just sat in my car for a while and just kind of thought it over. And then I just went inside because I was not about to drive anywhere else because I was so upset. I went inside and I was just pacing around, and I went and I called Haley, and then I called Lauren, and I still fully don't know what to say about that whole situation, because the only thing that I can say, and the only thing that I've been telling myself, is I really, really hope that you understand. And I'm speaking directly to Luke when I say this, or anyone who feels the need to degrade someone in the way that I was degraded. I really, truly, fully, with my entire being, hope that you understand. And I hope that that talk humbled you to the point where you fully are remorseful for what you did. Because God forbid you yourself have a daughter and something like that happened to her. Imagine just how you would feel as a parent in trying to help your child cope with that type of pain and that type of humility. And number two, imagine how your own daughter would feel. That's what I was put through. So for your sake, and for your future's sake, I really, truly do mean this from the bottom of my heart. I really hope that you are sorry. I really hope that maybe one day you fully do understand the impact that that stupid little fuckboy freshman decision made on someone's world, on someone's entire being. Because maybe then, one day, you will think back to that moment and truly, fully regret what you've done. Okay. Got that off my chest. I just really needed to say my piece and be done with it. This is the last I'm going to talk about this situation because I'm going to try my best to move on from it. Hopefully, I have, in my mind, gotten the closure that I need to kind of remove myself from that fogged mindset, just because for a while now I keep thinking about it and I don't want to think about it anymore because I feel like it's holding me back from many other potentials and many focuses that I could be zeroing in on, rather than just living in that deep, dark past that I need to get away from. So, I know this topic was very intense, and hopefully it helps someone who has gone through something similar, and hopefully it helps other people not make that type of decision, because I promise you, as funny as you think it is in the moment, it's really not that fucking funny, and it can cause someone their mental well-being or even their life. So, that's all I'm gonna say for now. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below for further video suggestions or what you thought of the overall video. I don't know, your thoughts, your 2 cents, if you will. Follow me on all my social medias. They will be linked down below as always. Subscribe for new videos. I put out new videos every single week. I will see you guys next video with a much more happy, upbeat topic. And stay Gucci.
Drop it low, let me play that back. What?